Uh, yo, welcome. Today, 214. This is the most tired I've ever been in a while. As you know, there was a day I titled "Exhausting Day," but yeah. What was I gonna say? I'm so out of it. It's 2:30 a.m. I just finished preparing for the tomorrow for the work I'm about to do. But first, let me get down to the details of the day, the deets of the day. Why is it so tiring? I woke up decently early since I slept at 3 last night. So I woke up at like 10. So 7 hours sleep. Not typically ideal. Uh, had to run some errands, went to Costco. Finally got my hands. Oh shit, it's heavy. Another pack of these. The Glorious Goat Premier Protein, 30 grams protein. Bro, these are probably the holy grail of all protein drinks to ever grace this fucking earth because one, they're 160 calories per bottle. They have 30 grams of protein. That is like a 2-to-1 calorie protein ratio. That is insane. That is like mythical loot. You'll never ever find any, it's so hard to find food like that. That has like a 2-to-1 uh, protein ratio or 2 to 10 2 grams protein for every 10 calories. That's pretty fucking hard. Most things that are 2 to 10 are usually like lower end on the protein. Like they'll be like protein cookies that are like 100 calories for something. Nah, honestly, I haven't seen anything like that. I haven't really seen anything that's 2 for 10 kind of ratio. Um, and another crazy thing is that it's only 300 mils a bottle. I remember back in the day, I used to chug these in like a matter of a minute. I just go, okay, I just used to chug that shit down. So now I got myself a cheeky 12 pack. That's the only 12 packs I like to drink. Um, yeah, you can get crack-a-lacking on those throughout the week. Um, and on the topic of fitness, you know your boy's already locked in on the circles. Here's a quick update for June. Don't mind that, but yeah. June is locked. We are 9 days in. Uh, Today I went to the gym and yesterday as well. So yeah, I had a pull day today. Uh, it's good now. I think I'm making progress. My reps are increasing. Hitting 12. Reasonably better, even though we're doing 2 sets to failure. I'm still getting decent amount of reps in. So yeah, I think it's nearly time to up weight, which is great. Uh, what else? Yeah, so that's the fitness side of things. Now, obviously, my day was quite eventful. It's my little brother's birthday coming up. Bought him a present and bought him 2K26 and some PS4 controllers so he can jam. We can jam 2K. So I would be lying if I said I didn't get my hands on some 2K. Yes, I was playing today. 2K is very addicting. It's very fun. Um, but yeah, you play alone, it's a little boring. But when you're playing with the bros, it's hard. It's hard to get out. So I would probably allocated like at least two something hours to 2K today. Maybe 2.5, maybe even 3. I will not lie. I did attribute, yeah, probably max 3 hours to 2K today, which is, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you could consider it a waste, but I don't like to take these moments for granted. There might be a day where I won't be able to see them or have these moments like this, every day at will. So yeah, I'm not too stressed about trying to do anything, or like stay very strict. I like to make the most out of things. And this is, yeah, makes perfect sense to just yeah, chill out. But yeah, maybe not today. I think there's obviously some exceptions. Nothing in life really truly stands, permanently, except values and morals and virtues. Uh, and yeah, so you know, obviously I can make exceptions to not be so strict on myself, but today is not really the case. I really need to get this tech pack done, because frankly, the longer I wait, or the longer it takes for me to, send out the details to the manufacturer, it takes them a month or so to produce it. So I need to be quick because eventually there will be a time where I have to wait a month doing literally nothing. And I remember the times, bro, when I was waiting for the first sample initially for the first 2 weeks. Probably the most chud, lazy, like worst 2 weeks of my life, Sat with my thoughts, pondering. I would fill my mind with Netflix and K drama and food. Wouldn't go gym. But now I think I'll be able to kind of fill that void with the gym. I'm thinking about going to work more, just for that, time being, because in that time we don't have much to really dwell on. Obviously, there's always something I could do. I mean, even in the first sample, kind of that period of time, I always try to find whatever I could do and just, yeah, do it. But now, yeah, I think it's better that I can allocate some time into other aspects that will, uplift my life. Uh, and yeah, I don't know. I'll try and see what I can do about negotiating turnaround times. Uh, it did take like a week, like more than a month for the first sample to arrive. Uh, I don't know. We'll see what we can do about that. But I think we're already too far in to be haggling and negotiations. I've been working with this same manufacturer since like April, I guess. So yeah, they're good. The first sample is great. So I trust them. I believe them. Um, yeah, I don't want to get too. But I saw this one like YouTube short. It was like talking about doing 50 units. They're not profiting off it, so they're gonna fuck it all up. Could be bad juju, but just goes to show that the type of media you consume really does influence the way you view things, or have it kind of does influence your own personal opinion, just based on contextually. When you're given more information on certain things, it changes the way you perceive it entirely. So I'm watching this one YouTube short randomly. I didn't go looking for it. I just randomly see it. It's just talking about, it was like, how would you start a clothing brand if you had $0? Or like how would you go about, doing a drop with only 50 pieces? And then the guy's talking about manufacturers, and if you were to request a 50-piece drop, the chance of them actually doing it well, effectively, um, if they're one, not your best friend, or two, owe you a lot of money, the chances of them doing a effective, high quality production of 50 units is like a miracle, almost zero to nothing, just because they profit so little off of 50 units that it seems, unworthy to want to put so much effort into it. But I digress. That's not my experience so far. Who knows? Maybe in 100 days time, you're gonna see me make a video about getting scammed off a bulk order. But yeah, I guess what I can put my time and efforts and energy into is probably researching on how to not get scammed. I did see things about manufacturer contracts, um, split payment kind of methods where you split like the ratio of the total into chunks depending on the part of the developmental phase that they're in. So you pay an upfront total deposit, or like a lump sum deposit, and then you kind of pay in increments as they keep producing to ensure that the process is smooth and you don't get scammed, and you know both parties are happy. So yeah, stuff like that. And but manufacturers chill. Lucky, I just see them as like a, I can talk to them pretty normally. It's also obviously there's a level of professionalism, but they're just like, it's just another human being doing their job. So I treat them as nothing else. Not, don't put them on a pedestal or anything. Uh, Definitely do not just like conform. I'm trying to stand my ground. If the price is crazy, I'm like, damn, bro. And they try to give me a reason, and so far so good. It seems pretty reasonable and pretty valid. Uh, but yeah, so to end on that note, we are currently in the phase of developing our tech pack. Um, Trying to. So my first tech pack had 10 slides. I'd say about 8 or 7 of those slides were proper details. You saw the first tech pack. It had it had 3 reference images that looked nothing, completely identical. So they had 3 different, complete different images to go off of. We also had a measurement chart, size chart with 3 measurements. Um, yeah. We also had, I forgot, but it was just a mess. So that was our first tech pack. I say, yeah, 7 slides. This next tech pack has 21 slides. Uh, and it's not just like, random stuff. No, this is going to be 21 slides of full proper detail of basically a completely fully fledged out playbook slash blueprint on how to produce a garment like that. Now, obviously, my garment, you've seen it, it's not crazy complex. But just it's the fact of trying to get those details that we've implemented perfect, like to the T, absolutely, like, you know, I want absolutely no margin of error, or like I want absolutely no deviation of accuracy. Like it should be literally 1-to-1 with the design and everything that I've initially wanted. So there should be no sort of difference between design and production. So that's why my tech pack is so detailed. Now, a mistake I made, at first was obviously once again when I talked about, how your opinion, because it can be very heavily influenced on the type of information you're consuming. When I was watching kind of tutorials on how to make tech packs or trying to understand better what tech packs are, what they do, and how you can make them. Somebody told me that if your tech pack is too detailed or all over the place, that your manufacturer is A, going to get confused, or two, going to forget certain specific details because there's too many details. So my initial thought was, oh, okay, so I just got to make it real concise, real simple. Now, obviously, you saw the aftermath of it all. We can talk now in hindsight that that is not how that works, you know, because what I ended up doing was leaving a lot of things, left unsaid and just letting them second guess or just try to guess what I was trying to, go for, which ended up with a half-assed sample or slash product, you could say the least. So now, yeah, I am not holding back, no hesitations. I even alerted the manufacturer, let them know, like, yeah, I got a tech pack coming. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be a lot of detail. And she said, yeah, that's absolutely all fine. I said, I'm just worried that there will be a miscommunication or you guys won't understand, or maybe it's a little too many things. And she said, no, it's okay. I can always just communicate with you via this chat if anything is confusing, which I can second. They do that. Every time we've had an issue or some form of um, crossroad that they could take one way where it's just they go with their own instinct, or they come back and ask me and verify. They choose to verify every single time. So you know, if I definitely highly recommend this manufacturer. They are top of their game. They are not playing about it. You know, they are truly, truly effective. So yeah, it's great. It's great that they verify stuff, but I feel like I got lucky, or like this is quite the lucky pull, because most or some manufacturers are not going to be the same case. Obviously they're all in it for the money, but I feel like these guys have a partial care for their craftsmanship, and they really do prioritize their service rather than trying to make the most money. Because they do MOQs of 50 units, 100 units. So obviously, yeah, they understand that that's not the most profitable MOQs, but I guess you can, with their service, they can get quality reviews from customers like me. Like, I would definitely give them a 5 out of 5, 100%, because of my experience with them. Uh, and so yeah, it's good that they're able to always reach out to me and ask for any verification and confirmation on things, certain details. But I don't think that would be the case for every manufacturer. So yeah, I got lucky knowing that they could come to clarify things. But that also just shows that there was a lack of detail in my description. Um, there's a lack on my behalf where I wasn't explaining it properly, that they had to come and clarify with me, and they did it pretty much like for a lot of things. They would clarify a lot of things. They'd ask me like, "Oh, is this good? Is this good? Is good?" Or like, "This is what you wanted." This is. They'd be like, "Oh, this is this, right? Oh, like this measurement is this, right? Yeah, yeah, good." Stuff like that. So that just goes to show that yeah, you need to have detail in your tech pack for sure, if you want them to truly understand what you're looking for, what you want. And so don't be afraid to, yeah, do too much, because although less is more in some instances, this is not the case. Tech packs should definitely be as detailed as possible. And if anything, I don't even think I've reached the max, detailedness it could be. I haven't even incorporated pattern measurements or pattern dimensions or any sort of pattern making in terms of cut and sew manufacturing. Like, I haven't even really dived into that world yet of pattern making. So once I get that, that's like a whole nother league in itself, where you can really experiment with even the silhouettes and the way that garments are made. Not just by customizing the looks of it, but quite literally creating a whole new thing out of it. You can. That's like a whole new world, bro. So I don't know when I'll dive into that. I think when I start experimenting more with more expressive statement pieces. Like, I remember I showed you guys my fencing jacket mock-up. I still really do like that design, but that one there is more cut and sew, kind of the idea. Like, it's not really basic. The silhouette is much more unique. It's not just something you can pull out of a blank. That thing requires a lot more attention to detail. uh, and so I feel like if I ever try get go full straight into that project, I will have to definitely have a little more expertise under my belt in terms of pattern making and understanding uh, that type of production, because that one's very easy to fuck up, and there are a lot of details that you need to get right, such as the fabric, the feel, colors, measurements, all that. Once again, yeah, it's not as easy as just giving the measurements and pulling shit out of a blank. Yeah, I think they really need to understand each and every intricate piece of the the garment. So yeah, we'll definitely need a more deeper understanding on patterns. So yeah, let me just quickly show you guys our tech pack right now. This is 21. Oh, sorry, this is 22 our boards. I've only done 5. It's 2:56, currently 3 a.m. I'm tired as fuck. I started this at 12, so, and we've been going on since like 2:30, so roughly 2 hours of work for 5 slides. Granted, I had to create the other 22. Now that doesn't seem like much, but I had to rearrange these so many times because I would put stuff in, realize I needed to add another slide in between, realizing I can't really do that, so I had to rearrange everything again. Yada yada yada. You get the gist. So yeah, 5 slides done, but I've labeled every other slide. So in that, I know for tomorrow when I do attack this again, that I know exactly what I need to do, what I need to put. Yeah. So if all goes well, if we do get straight into this tomorrow morning or afternoon or whenever I wake up, that hopefully I can finish this off within the next day because I don't go gym tomorrow, so I'll probably have to play some basketball. But uh, that's yeah, fine by me. We did stay under our calorie deficit today. I was over, I wouldn't lie, but I went to the gym and I burned it off just enough so that I am under or decently under. So yeah, a lot of yapping today. There's no real strategic or no real normal topic of today. But yeah, I guess that's it for today, I guess. This is day 214. Oh, I'm so tired. So yeah. Best believe I will be going to sleep now. So I'll see y'all boys in the next one. I don't know what I'm gonna title this video, but yo, peace.